Howdy there, folks. I have a big beast video coming out later tonight on everything going on in the market, but I thought first I would do the response because somebody took me up on my challenge. And I know everybody's always, wants to kind of know the scoop on the drama. So yeah, here's my response video to that individual that did take me up on my challenge. And now we're working out the finite details. Okay, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Oh my gosh, shoot, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I left that up. Gosh, shoot. Oh, my fault. I didn't mean to leave that up at all. 1,600% gain. I mean, showing a value investor something like that, that's like trying to take a nun to a strip club. Like, you just don't do that, man. Like, I apologize for that, okay? Alrighty, so first off here, I didn't like the terms they gave, okay? They want to do a 10-year challenge. I had suggested a 5-year challenge, okay? I do not really want to do a 10-year challenge. However, I will accept. I don't want to do a 10-year challenge, and the reason I don't is I always focus on the next 3-5 years, and 10 years is so long. Like, so much can happen with the company. I watched Tesla go from like a bankrupt joke company to the biggest company in the world when it comes to automobiles in a 10-year span. I watched Apple go from near bankruptcy to the most game-changing company we've ever seen, right? In a matter of 10 years, they did that. So 10 years is a long dang time. But with that being said, I'll accept it being all the way spread out to a 10-year challenge, okay? That's a bit out there, but that's fine. We'll do a 10-year challenge, okay? Here's what I'm suggesting, because, I felt like they were talking about this and talking about that and just confusing things. I want to keep things as simple as possible so everybody can keep track of this, not complicated, no trading in and out of stocks, none of that crap. You stick with your 10 stocks you have, and that's that, man. Because otherwise, I feel like the more confusing it gets, the more people can make excuses when they lose and things like that, right? So very simply, here's how it's going to be done, in my opinion. This is how I want it done. I want it done on an Excel spreadsheet. Simple. And Mr. Ohio State, I know you know how to do an Excel spreadsheet. They teach that there, right? So just put it all in an Excel spreadsheet. We're going to pick our 10 stocks, okay? So here's going to be your stocks. The gains and losses. Also, if you want to have a category for dividends, that can be fine because I know some of your stocks are going to pay dividends. Maybe one of mine pays a dividend as well, okay? So we can factor that all into the total return. And then everybody can access that. They don't need any password or anything like that. So it's going to be linked in every single person's video on my channel and your channel. Okay, and every single person that watches the videos that wants to keep track of it can click on that and access it whenever they want. And this spreadsheet should almost never be touched. And then my stocks are going to be over here, my gains and losses, any dividends, the total return overall. And then if we want to add also the S&P 500 and VT and QQQ and the Dow and the Russell and a bunch of others, we can add those as well on the side so we can see how we stack up against those as well. That's perfectly fine, okay? So simple, not confusing. Everybody can access it very easily. They can see all the numbers. I want this to be public as possible. And so having a link in the description that everybody can click on and boom, it's all there. That's easy, okay? Next up, the only reason that spreadsheet should ever be altered, and you guys can control that, I'm perfectly fine with that, okay? Because if you ever mess with that baby, I'm going to call you out on it, okay? The only reason that spreadsheet should ever be altered is if somebody's company gets bought out. Then that person would take the gain or loss in the total return. You'd have to write in the description, so-and-so's company got bought out in year 3, they took a loss of this on it, or they took a gain of this on it, they replace that stock with this, okay? Because obviously it's pretty unfair if somebody's company gets bought out and then they don't get to pick a new company, because obviously if you get a company bought out, and I've been part of several of those stocks before that ended up getting bought out, obviously you put that money into the next stock, right? So you should get to pick a replacement stock. So let's say, for instance, Mr. Ohio State, this looks like your type of stock, Kraft Heinz, down 54% over the past 5 years. This is right up your alley. And so, let's say your Kraft Heinz ends up getting bought out by, I don't know, Unilever or whoever. Then it's a situation where, you could then take your gain or loss on that stock and then go ahead and replace it with a new stock. And so that's the only reason that spreadsheet should ever be altered. Outside of that, no one should ever touch that. The numbers are the numbers. There's no dollar cost averaging. There's no trading in and out of stocks. It's plain, simple, easy, no excuses, none of that, okay? Now, in terms of dollar amounts, I want to do $300,000 over the 10 years. $300,000 represents the amount of money I lost in Voyager stock, which is the whole reason we're even talking about this competition now, right? So $300,000 goes to charity. $30,000 after every single year. Okay, whoever's winning the competition doesn't have to pay it. That person decides what charity the losing person has to pay the money to, essentially. Okay, so the winner gets to pick where the $30,000 is given, and once again, whoever's leading the competition at that point, after year 1, after year 2, after year 3, after year 4, they're the one that picks where the other person puts their money. Okay, so I got some charities for you ready. Okay, next up here. As long as the YouTube channels are active, here's the catch. As long as the YouTube channels are active, the losing party must do a video called Why I Lost to Jeremy this year, okay? And if you are winning that year, which is likely not going to happen, but if that is happening, I'll do a video as well. Why I lost to so-and-so this year. In that video, they got to go through why they think they're losing the competition at that point, right? They also have to show proof in that video that the $30,000 was given to the charity that year. As simple as that, okay? So that is my response to the challenge. And it's simple, it's easy, it's not complicated, there's no excuses built in. Everybody can access it. Everything's public. Doing a once-a-year public video, acknowledging who lost, right, in that year, showing proof that $30,000 was given to charity and what charity was chosen. And that's it, man. That's it. I want to say one last thing, okay? Listen, Mr. P, I would just consider maybe backing out. Okay, I'm just going to say that. I would just consider backing out of this. Because once you accept this, there's no going back, okay? There's no going back. So I would just consider to maybe back out, make up an excuse and say, you know what, I don't want to do it because of this or that. I would just consider that, okay? Because this is going to be in every single video moving forward. It's going to be a lot of money to charity. And on top of that, everybody's going to get to see exactly how this plays out. So I would just consider maybe making up an excuse and be like, I don't want to do it or something like that. Because once you accept, there's no turning back, man. There's no turning back. You're on the space flight at that point, okay? Just going to say that. Much love as always, guys, and have a great day. Big video coming later. Peace.